It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Keenan. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like Neiman. And I'm still tryna fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war going on. Maybe put my hands on my head like the Macarena. They want you walking on board like Kima. Ain't give a F to you like John Cena. Putting blood on the brand new Beamer. Tryna earn 8 stripes like Adidas. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to a dog like a keto. And expose to a cat like a cheetah. They smoke my partner like reefer. Dímelo porque yo no entiendo. Mi gente must really need Jesus. They shed real blood. I never seen the crypt and I believe it. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Y'all just talk, don't live it. And just took that route, that seen it. And I'm so outspoken like Reason. Jimmy Neutron, boy, Young G's. And I'm a self-made man out of Sweden. And it's still off top, I'm tweaking. But I still gotta fight my demons. I ain't no good, I'm evil. I ain't been clean since Eden. It's a war going on.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into the WAG show. We're back. A few days off there. Travis and I were at the Fantasy Football Expo over the weekend, which was a lot of fun. Met a lot of cool people. Excited to go back next year, hopefully. But we're back on the stream. We're back on the grind here. It is Wednesday, August 16th. Football season rapidly approaching. We are way behind on our divisional previews because I was off Friday and then the last 2 days. So we're behind on the divisional previews. We're going to get back on track with those. I also finally fixed my microphone and my webcam. So if you're watching this live, I see some viewers in here. Let me know, do I sound better than I have the last few weeks? Does the stream look better? I feel like the camera should be better overall. Everything should be better than it has been. All good. 100. All right, Banks, what's up? Jeff, what's up? Eddie, Chris, I need $15,000 within the next 2 weeks. $15,000 in the next 2 weeks. $15,000 in the next 2 weeks. Okay. I think that in sports betting, to try and expect to win $15K in 2 weeks is that's a little difficult. But one hit is all it takes. For those in the chat though, so we're gonna do, what did we do? We did three NFC divisions. We still have to do the NFC West. So we're going to talk about the NFC West today. And then I will I'll see if there's any baseball stuff that sticks out. So yesterday for me should have been a huge baseball night. We had everything was hitting. We hit Boston first 5 run line hit. The Pirates and Mets, we had the over in that game. It was looking bad. They came back and that hit. We had another one. Oh, the under first 5 Phillies, Blue Jays, that hit. Everything was looking great. And then we had 1.5 on a 2-team first 5 money line parlay, and the Dodgers sold us. So It was still a slightly profitable day, but could have been a way bigger day. What about KBO and League of Legends? I do not bet on Korean baseball. League of Legends, I think that there is an edge to bet on, but I don't. I'm not as familiar with the League of Legends in terms of betting. I've watched the game before. KBO, I do not bet on. So. Yeesh, 15K in 2 weeks. Hopefully it's not just MLB betting on. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Making 15K in 2 weeks on baseball, I think you would have to hit a parlay like of some sort of home run parlay or something. I think would be your best bet. Did you watch that Rojas play? He could have easily turned a double play, but didn't know how many outs there were, and Yelich scored in the first. Yeah, I did see that. I don't know. I had this bad feeling, Mitchell, like like as we were approaching that game, because I knew I was going to pick Rangers for first 5, and then I was deciding between Braves and Dodgers, and I picked Dodgers. Should have just picked the Braves. Would have been pretty much a clean sweeper, but yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. All right, so we're going to talk NFC West. If you guys have any questions on the NFC West, go ahead and ask. If you someone asked about my season-long article, I have been working on it. I wanted to put it out before the expo, but I wasn't just attending the expo. Travis and I were helping out the guy that runs the expo. So once I got there, I really didn't have time to do much. And then Saturday all day I was at a live draft, so it just kind of got. And then Sunday was the actual expo, so time got away from me. I wanted to have it up on Friday, but most people draft, I feel like this weekend, next weekend, and the weekend after, anyways. So I have been working on it. It will be up before this weekend. Hopefully, I can get it finished tonight or tomorrow morning. But I'm actually glad I didn't put it out last week because something kind of changed for me in terms of a guy that I'm more comfortable with taking in the second round now. So I'm actually pretty happy that that I didn't put it out last week because I would have had to make a big edit to it. So it kind of worked out. NFL tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow, if you guys have missed this, tomorrow, over the weekend did really good in terms of the preseason core plays. I went 2-1 on the slates over the weekend. Had a really, really good chance at a big score on Sunday, and it just didn't pan out. I was deciding between Deneric Prince and Zamir White at running back. I went with Deneric Prince, and of course he did nothing, and Zamir White had like 40 yards and a touchdown in the first quarter. So I'm getting close, I feel like, to a really nice score, but overall, it was a profitable weekend. I will have player pool up for the showdown slate tomorrow. I'll have core plays up for the showdown tomorrow. I'll have probably a prize picks entry as well up for the showdown slate tomorrow. So if you are going to sign up for the regular season of NFL DFS analysis, sign up now. It's one price for all sports. So you'll get MLB cores and you'll also get the preseason stuff as well. Drafting in Vegas next weekend, that's sick. I've never done, well, actually this past weekend was actually the first time I've ever done a live draft. I've never done one before. It was pretty fun. But yeah, Mitchell, I'm looking forward to football tomorrow. And it's the Browns, which, if you guys know, I'm located Northeast Ohio, so it's I don't know. I feel like I always do well on the Browns preseason slates. All right, so diving in here, the NFC West, we have the San Francisco 49ers currently favored at -165 to win the division. We also have the Seattle Seahawks second there at +200 to win the division. Third is the Los Angeles Rams at 10-1. And the Arizona Cardinals come in fourth at a distant 27-1. Eagles are my favorite team, though. Yeah, I root for the Eagles, but I feel like I know like personally a few of the Browns beat reporters, and it's easier for me to like get a read on stuff here. Sean, what's up? Value on the Seahawks. Dude, I joined this Dynasty League, and all I get is just constant notifications from Sleeper. I need to, mute this. It's literally tilting me. I need to mute the chat or something. But I do root for the Eagles, yes. Value on the Seahawks. Yeah, I like Seattle. I like Seattle this year. So let's talk about it. So we'll start from the bottom. The Cardinals have absolutely no chance to win this division. I don't think that they are trying to win. They're going to have 2 top 5 picks in the draft next year, most likely because they have theirs. They have their pick and they have Houston's pick. So they're going to have 2 top 5 picks. I don't think that they're very motivated to win games this year. It does sound like Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray will be back by the time the season starts, but I'm not sure. Maybe they rest him for a month or something. He's going to be back early in the season at some point, but his contract continues to look pretty bad, and there's a pretty good chance that if they get the number 1 pick, they take Caleb Williams and they, I don't know, move on from Kyler Murray, or I don't know what's going to happen there, but it doesn't look like a very good contract at the moment. So they don't have any chance. I don't have much interest in them betting wise. I don't have much interest in them for fantasy football. The only player, I mean, if you had to draft like a Hollywood Brown, it's okay, I think. But overall, my favorite player on their team for fantasy is rookie Michael Wilson. I think that Michael Wilson could be one of the breakout players in the NFL as a rookie. He's very good out of Stanford. I think he's a really good receiver. Obviously it's not an ideal situation for him team-wise, but I think he's going to start right away week 1 in 2 wide receiver sets, and I think they'll have, Rondale Moore or whoever in the slot with Hollywood Brown on one side, Michael Wilson on the other. So I think he's going to start right away, and I'm excited to watch him. If you guys don't know much about him, go ahead and look it up. Who knows how to mute notifications in Sleeper? Because I can't do this. Notifications, chat messages off. There we go. Jeez Louise, man. Unbelievable. So Michael Wilson, really the only noteworthy thing for me when it comes to the Arizona Cardinals. As for Los Angeles Rams, the Rams, I also don't think have a chance to win this division. I think that their defense is going to be historically bad. We were talking about it a few times over the past week, but I think that their defense is going to be really bad. I think for daily fantasy, playing guys against the Rams is going to be a very good move, especially early in the season while we wait. Some people probably don't know how bad their defense is going to be, but I know they play Seattle week 1. So, getting a Cooper Kupp or a Cam Akers and then playing, a stack on the other side of the Rams, I think it's going to be a great move early in the season. I think the defense is going to be terrible. So I don't think they have any chance to win this division or really make the playoffs with how bad I think their defense is going to be. It should be good for daily fantasy and season long. Cooper Kupp, I think, is still a great pick in the first round. He averaged over 2 more fantasy points per game than Justin Jefferson last season. He just got hurt. We've seen it from him before. He's been the number 1 player overall in fantasy football. If he stays healthy and if the team, stays healthy in terms of the offensive side, Matt Stafford and all that, I think Cooper Kupp's a fine first-round pick. I think Cam Akers is a good pick where he's going in the middle rounds. But season-long and betting-wise, I don't really expect much from this team, to be honest. Then we move up Seattle and San Fran. So these are the 2 best teams. I expect both these teams to make the playoffs. Obviously, the 49ers are the overwhelming favorites here based off what they did last year. It does look like they're going to have Brock Purdy at quarterback. People are like freaking out about how Trey Lance looked in the preseason. First of all, that offensive line he was playing behind was terrible. Secondly, Trey Lance started like under 15 games in his college career, and the number one thing that he needed coming into the NFL was game reps. He has not gotten any game reps because he's gotten hurt. So I don't. Why are people freaking out about this? He needs to play. So I don't know if people, maybe people thought Trey Lance was going to start, but yeah, he's never going to start over Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's back, healthy enough to play. He's going to be the starting quarterback. So yeah, I think the 49ers are very good. I don't know. I don't know. I can't get a read in terms of like Super Bowl potential for them, but I do think they're very good. I don't know if we can expect Brock Purdy to play quite as good as he did last year, but that remains to be seen. We'll see. I do agree with Sean in the chat. I think that there's value on Seattle to win this division. I think that there's value on Seattle just long term. I think this team is really good. They made the playoffs last year. Geno Smith was playing at an elite level. He led the league in completion percentage. He passed for more yards than Russell Wilson ever did in a single season. Geno Smith had more passing yards last year than any single season from Russell Wilson during his time in Seattle. Now he gets to add Jackson Smith-Njigba into his target tree. So he gets to throw to DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith-Njigba. They still have Noah Fant at tight end. They have obviously Kenneth Walker at running back, and they also brought in Zach Charbonnet, who caught over 30 passes in his final year in college. Very good pass catching running back. So the weapons are insane for Seattle. I'm really high on this team. I think they're going to be good. I'm high on their running backs in season long. I think you can get both of them on your team, I think would be fine. I love where Geno goes. I made a tweet like months ago, and his ADP really hasn't moved, but he goes outside like the top 14 at quarterback, despite being a top 10 fantasy quarterback in points per game last year. And like I said, now he gets an added weapons to throw to. So I don't understand why people don't want to pick Geno Smith in fantasy, but if you're playing in a 2 quarterback league or something like that, I think he's a pretty good pick. So said Darnold's third string now. Yeah, I mean, he's actually probably second string over Trey Lance. Like, I feel like they would probably put him in over him if it was like a must-win game or something. Do you think the 49ers should strap Debo at running back with McCaffrey and Mitchell? No, I don't think they will. I don't think there's any reason to. Someone also like McCaffrey, in terms of like fantasy, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be picking him top 3. He did average over 6 fantasy points per game less when Elijah Mitchell was healthy. They have so many weapons. I just don't know if he's going to get a monster role like we've seen from him in the past, because they obviously want to keep him healthy. I don't think he's a bad pick by any means, but there's other guys I would pick over him in the first round. So I'll just answer that. I do really like Brandon Ayuk for season long where he's going. And like I said, I like the Seattle running backs a lot. Any of the receivers are fine, but there's someone I would rather pick in the second round than DK now. So that kind of changes things. Jackson Smith-Njigba, I think, is a good pick where he goes. And like I said, Geno Smith, great pick. So overall, I do think it's a 2-team race in this division between San Fran and Seattle. I do think there's value on Seattle at 2-1. I think you can look at Seattle to, make the playoffs bets. I think you can look at, I have a long shot on Seattle Super Bowl at like 40-1. Not expecting them to go out and win, but I mean, if you get in a situation where they make a playoff run and they're in like the NFC Championship game, it's pretty easy to hedge off of those 40-1 odds. So I like Seattle this year. I think they're going to be pretty good. If anyone has any other questions, these people, I went on the clock in this draft 3 minutes ago, and these people are tagging me. How many games do you see Stafford playing? I think at least 12 or 13. Maybe we get to a situation if they don't have a lot of wins, they see what Stetson Bennett can do at the end of the season. But I think for the most part, if he's healthy, he will be playing. So I don't think he's gonna miss much time. I do think he's healthy. I'm picking in this dynasty draft. I'm gonna take Jackson Smith and Jigba. Speaking of him, since we were just talking about him, so I just took him, and we can pull up baseball for tonight. All right, so there's 3 games going on currently, and then another one is about to start in 20 minutes, so we won't talk about that. Tampa and San Francisco is about to start at 3:45 Eastern, so we can just skip that game. We'll start with we have Cleveland, Cincinnati, Noah Syndergaard against Andrew Abbott. Andrew Abbott and the Reds are minus 180 favorites here. Tough for me to back Noah Syndergaard. I wouldn't be doing that. I think the best angle in this game is to take some steals props per usual on the Reds. Whenever Noah Syndergaard is pitching, you can look for steals props. Let's see what the odds are here. Stolen bases. I mean, plus 140 for Ellie De La Cruz, not very good. Matt McClain at plus 245 looks decent. Will Benson at plus 290, or even like a Spencer Steer at plus 380. Some of those Reds guys in terms of them getting a stolen base tonight looks like my favorite angle in that game. What 3 big names do you see getting cut that will shock everyone? If you're talking about NFL guys that can get cut, I haven't put much thought into it. I wouldn't be shocked if the Eagles cut a running back, because Kenneth Gainwell is going to make the team. Obviously, they still have Boston Scott. They also have, Rashad Penny, DeAndre Swift. They have a number of guys, so I wouldn't be shocked if one of those guys gets cut. Maybe it would be Penny, but it also, I don't know, maybe they could cut Swift. I literally have no idea. Maybe they'll keep all of them. I don't know. That's just one spot. Like maybe one of those guys could get cut. I haven't put much thought into it outside of that though. Astros Marlins, we have Justin Verlander against Jesus Luzardo. Really good pitching matchup here. It is listed as a pick'em, as you can see, minus 110 on each side. There's a little bit of sharp money on Houston. They're very public, 81% of the bets and 86% of the money. I think the over maybe. If you can still get that at 7.5, I would be fine with the over. It does look like most places it's moved up to it's moved up to 8. But if you could get that at 7.5, I would not mind that. A's and Cardinals. We have Paul Blackburn against Matthew Liberatore. Matthew Liberatore is a minus 185 favorite here. A little bit of value first 5 maybe on Oakland. Paul Blackburn is one of their best pitchers. And I'm not a big fan of Matthew Liberatore currently, his current state. So if you want to take a shot on the A's first 5, I think you could do that maybe. Could be a little value on Oakland here. Boston and Washington, Mackenzie Gore against James Paxton. James Paxton is a minus 155 favorite here, but there's a little sharp money coming in on the Nationals, 5%. There's also some sharp money coming in on the under 9. I do think under 9 would be my lean in this game if I was looking for one. Not really looking to bet a side of that game. Aaron Nola, Kevin Gausman, a very, very good pitching matchup here in the NL. What we have here. Blue Jays are minus 148. They are getting 65% of the tickets, but that line has moved towards the Phillies. Both Nola and Kevin Gausman, obviously very good pitchers. I would lean Philly first 5 if I was looking for a play here. Phillies first 5 would be my lean. Yankees, Braves, Charlie Morton, Randy Vasquez. Charlie Morton, a minus 220 favorite. This has worked out in our favor a couple times this season. I've told you anytime Charlie Morton is like a minus 220, minus 230 to take the other side. So maybe you could look at Yankees first 5 or something here, but Charlie Morton is not as good as he was in the past. So I don't really I understand the Braves offense is another level, but would not feel comfortable betting him at minus 218, minus 220. Reed Detmers against John Gray, Angels, Rangers. Rangers are minus 175 favorites here. They're getting a little bit of short money. Also, tough to go against Texas here. I would look at the over 9 if I wanted to play. Probably not going to bet a side unless I go Rangers in like a parlay or something. White Sox, Cubs. We have Mike Clevenger. I don't see a starter listed for the Cubs currently. So if you know who's starting for the Cubs, you can post in the chat. But I don't see a starter listed currently, so I'm not going to talk about the game. Luis Castillo against James McArthur. We have Mariners, Royals. Mariners are minus 200 favorites here. There's a little sharp money coming in on KC, but I don't think that's an indictment of people thinking KC is going to win. It's more so just Luis Castillo has been okay, not his best self, and he's minus 200, but the Royals have been kind of hot. I mean, Bobby Witt has really picked things up recently for them. 10 plus runs. I'm late. My bad for it. Yeah, I'll give it out here in a second. So I don't know. Over 9 maybe would be by playing this game, but don't love anything off the top of my head. Orioles, Padres. We have Dean Kremer against Blake Snell. Blake Snell minus 185 favorite here. I would probably take the Orioles first 5 for a side here if I was looking for one. And then last game of the night, Wade Miley, Clayton Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw minus 250 favorite here. Dodgers are fine in a parlay, but not looking to bet them straight up at that price. Overall, in terms of 10 plus runs, they're not on the main slate, but I like the Reds. And I also like the Reds, the Seattle Mariners, and the might go Texas Rangers. One more. How do you feel about Cleveland Browns offense for fantasy? I think they'll be good. I think that Deshaun Watson will play better than he did last year. I think that for fantasy, he in particular will be good. I think he's going to run a lot, which is good. If you look at his numbers last season, he was running quite a bit. I also don't think that you can look at his overall offensive numbers from last season without baking in that he did not play, football for 700 days and then played in 2 historically bad windy games. So it's tough to take much from that sample size. I think he'll obviously play better this season. I think Nick Chubb is a very good pick. I would be comfortable. I'm not personally going to be taking him, I don't think, in my drafts, but I would be comfortable with him as a high second-round pick. Although I will say I would not be shocked if Cleveland signs a running back, like a Leonard Fournette type running back, because they really don't have anything. But they have literally nothing. They love Jerome Ford. I can tell you from living here, they love Jerome Ford, but he's hurt and could be in jeopardy of missing the first week. So if you're saying Jerome Ford's out, they don't have a backup running back. Demetric Felton is like a hybrid, a running back receiver, and then they have John Kelly, who I don't think I really don't think they want John Kelly active in week 1. So I think Leonard Fournette is, one of the top landing spots for him has to be Cleveland. But overall, I think Nick Chubb is a good fantasy pick in the second round. Elijah Moore, I think, is a smash pick where he goes and, everyone's going to play him DFS week 1. Matt and I talked about him in that other video we did, but very, very good price for him week 1. I like Elijah Moore a lot. I think he's going to be heavily involved. Could be the number one receiver on the team over Amari Cooper, and he goes significantly later in fantasy drafts. So yeah, I like Elijah Moore. If you miss out on the Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen tier at quarterback, I think getting Deshaun Watson is in play. I don't hate it. I like Anthony Richardson now that he's been confirmed the starter. I think he's great for fantasy. If you're nervous about that, it's easy to get Anthony Richardson and then take like a Geno Smith or something later, just in case. But I like Anthony Richardson where he goes probably more than Deshaun Watson. But if you miss out on that Hurts, Allen, Lamar tier and you want to take Watson, I think that's fine. I do think he will run the ball a lot. So should be pretty good for fantasy. Overall, that about does it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate it. We're back on schedule now, so I'll be back tomorrow, 3 p.m. We're on to the AFC tomorrow, so we'll do one of the AFC divisions tomorrow in terms of the preview. I'm not sure which one we'll do yet, but you guys will know tomorrow. So with that being said, good luck with your bets tonight, guys, and I'll see you guys on Thursday.